Mr. Laurent Fabius, thank you so much to be with us today. You are in Paris, we are in Shanghai. Obviously, you can see Lu Jiazui in our back. This is September the 28th of 2020. And we would like to thank you for your contribution to the book China and the World, which is going to be published very soon now. You wrote what we consider to be a very important essay. And today, Mr. Laurent Fabius, we wanted to ask you, what is the main idea of this essay you wrote for China and the World?
Well, the main idea is that China has been, is, and will be a key actor as far as climate change is concerned. That is the main idea. And personally, I've seen that in very practical terms when I was preparing and chairing the famous COP21 and the Paris Agreement. To make it very short, it would not have been possible to have this tremendous success, because it was the first time that all around the world the governments agreed on the text and on commitments about climate. It would not have been possible without the support of China. And I remember particularly discussion with President Xi Jinping. I remember the conference itself with the negotiator, and really the action of China has been very important, not only because China is the first CO2 emitter in the world, but also because the political will was there and clearly there.
Thank you very much. And by the way, Mr. Laurent Fabius, you just mentioned the Paris conference, the COP21, and I have here what I consider to be a very important object, because this is the symbol, this little green hammer of the success of the conference you have chaired 5 years ago in Paris. It represents the Paris spirit, if I may say. It took place in 2015, 5 years ago. And I used this opportunity on the occasion of our conversation around China and the world to ask you, Mr. Laurent Fabius, what is your assessment of the situation regarding the fight against climate change 5 years after the COP21 that you have chaired successfully in Paris?
Well, the spirit of Paris, what was it? It was the conjunction of three elements. First, the scientific background and the support of science. And 5 years later, it's still there. Second, what I could call civil society around the world. I mean, private and public companies, local authorities, NGOs, individuals, young people, and they were in favor of Paris Agreement, and today still they are there. But the third element is the behavior of different governments. And in Paris in 2015, we've been able to have everybody with us. Today, unfortunately, it's no longer true. And especially because of the decision which has been taken by President Trump to get out of the Paris Agreement. And it was a bad sign, not only for US, but also for the world, because some governments had the temptation to go out of the commitments they have taken in Paris. Therefore, it is true that today the political situation is much less favorable than it used to be 5 years ago. And when you're looking at the figures of climate change, they're not going in the right direction. But, and I insist on the but, fairly recently, we had good and positive signs, coming in particular from Europe and from China. As far as Europe is concerned, you have seen that European Commission, European Parliament, European authorities have committed themselves in very strong commitments for the future. And so far as China is concerned, very recently, President Xi in the UN General Assembly has made a very important speech, because for the first time, and I insist, it was for the first time, and I quote, it was 1 week ago, that China aims to have CO2 emissions peak before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2060. Yes. It's very important because it's the first time that these words have been pronounced. Obviously, it's not easy to implement this because we have the problem of coal, we have the problem of some industries, you have the problem of getting a general implementation of this objective. We shall see in the 14th plan what will be the decision. But it has changed the mind of many countries around the world. And I quote Europe and I quote China because one important point in my contribution to the book is that Europe and China must work together. Obviously, if the Americans decide to join us, okay, bravo. But today, as long as the political situation is, if we want to get a success, and we need a success, as far as climate change is concerned, Europe and China must go along together.
Once again, Mr. Laurent Fabius, thank you very much for the work you have been doing, you are doing, and you will do for our planet, our world, for peace, shared prosperity, and also sustainability. And when I read your essay and while I was listening to you today, I am full of hope because I can feel that the Paris spirit is very well alive. Thank you very much, Mr. Laurent Fabius. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.